From Lorraine, asking whether this is the same lioness we saw at Buffelshoek Dam the other night and the same one from last night. And certainly is. It's SandyPatch female. She's the last remaining member of that pride. So she's a pride all by herself. And second part of that question Lorraine was asking, also a couple of people yesterday asked the same thing, if she's going to have cubs, which it looks like she probably will in the next couple of months, where will she have them? It's a variety of places. It's impossible to say beforehand. She's not exactly going to find a den as such. It's not like hyenas that find a place and they live there for a while. Around here in Sabi Sands there's not that many rocky outcrops and so on where we are. So typically just some very thick bush, a nice protected area where she can hide those cubs so that they hopefully can be safe from things like hyenas and leopard. And then she'll move them as well. Every few days she'll move them to a new site. Yeah, she's going to stuff some more food into her belly. Look at how she's chewing with the side teeth there. See, when she chews into that tissue, the skin and the meat, she uses their carnassial shears, or carnassial shears, I've also heard it pronounced like that. Basically, the teeth on the side of her jaw, the equivalent of our molars, very, very sharp, like the edges of scissor blades. And that is a very, very crucial part of any carnivore's teeth structure. It also goes for things like dogs or leopard. They wouldn't be able to eat meat if they didn't have those carnassial shears that they can cut through skin and meat with. Otherwise, they can use the canines to grab hold of something, catch it, kill it with whichever means, suffocation being the typical way. And then once they've killed it, they'd be unable to actually get into it. So it's a very important part. There you can see her using those side teeth. Just a reminder as well, I know over the last few days we've had some internet problems and we haven't had that many questions because our internet's been down, but the internet is up. And I do think we'll probably spend some time with this lioness as long as she doesn't sleep the whole time. We'll sit with her for a bit. And also just a chance that maybe while we're here still, there might be some hyena interaction if they do come here quite quickly. So we'll be here for a while. If you have any questions about this lioness or lions in general, please send them through and we'll try and answer a few of them. Beautiful animals. Thank you also very much. Just while I'm thinking of it, I was just looking at her face and those whisker spots. Quite a few people sent through images they captured on yesterday's drive. We spoke about those whisker markings and getting a nice facial view. Really is appreciated, and in general as well, all of you, every single one that sends through positive comments and questions and ideas and just letting us know that you're enjoying what we do out here, that you enjoy the sort of the view into wildlife that WildEarths is providing. It really is appreciated very much, and it's heartfelt as well. So thank you for the participation, all of you. While we're enjoying this lioness, it's also a beautiful evening out here. Not a single wisp of cloud in the sky, very, very clear. So much so that you can almost still see a bit of a glow from the sunset earlier. It's like there's just a little bit of light in the sky. I'm sure that'll go to pitch darkness in the next half an hour or so. No moon. Only going to come out much, much later, actually into the early hours of the morning. So very dark, very starry night ahead of us. It's actually quite spectacular last night. I don't know, one or two of you might have even seen it. We did a late test drive with the equipment. Can't even remember what time it was. I think it was around 10 or something. after 10 o'clock even. But it was incredibly clear. So many stars, saw lots of shooting stars. All the constellations are very prominent. You can see Orion early in the evening, and then it sets as a Scorpio comes up in the east. We've got Leo out as well at the moment. It's quite befitting. Gemini, Southern Cross, beautiful sky around us here. A very systematic process as well, this feeding. Obviously if there's more than one line, it's a little bit more frenzied. They all compete a little bit for the food. It's her on her own, maybe a bit more like a leopard. She's got the time to start from one end and just slowly work her way sort of into and through the carcass. I mentioned earlier, first of all, going for those big meaty areas, the rump, sort of part of the sirloin as well if you want, that part along the back. Also, interestingly enough, lions or other predators as well, they also eat some of the organs